How y'all doing? So, y'all know yesterday I didn't have a good day. But to add insult to injury, let me tell y'all what else had happened to me with that. Um, y'all, what I'm finding out is about some of these women on these social media platforms that's older than you, that's in their 60s, that know they know better. They can act the fool too. Y'all, let me tell y'all what happened. So there was this lady that I was following on TikTok. And so she do all of this, mud banking and selling stuff or whatever. I can't hate, really got herself together as far as the business goes. Retired and just making a lot of income and residual income and all kind of stuff or whatever. So I followed her because I like her content. I like what she eats, and I like, how she runs her business. I was kind of an admirer from afar. And so a lot of times, people get on her post or whatever, on her videos, and they'll leave some type of smart comment or whatever. She goes by, I think it was Steel Mud Bank or something, Steel City Mud Bank or something. And so a lot of times, people would get on her comments and leave, some smart stuff or some rude stuff on her thing or whatever. And she has the type of sarcasm where she gets with people or whatever. She'll post, how somebody leave a comment, she'll post the people that was getting smart in the corner where everybody could see it, and then she would say something smart back to the people. Okay. And I understood that, because people get smart with you for no reason, or people hating on you for no reason, then you have to defend yourself, right? So I didn't have no problem with that or whatever. Well, she lives in Philly. So I have been saying for a while that I was going to reach out to her, and just asked her if she knew something that was very vital, that was very important to my life. Now, my grandmother is from Mason, Tennessee, but no, she's from Brownsville, Tennessee, but she married a guy in Mason, Tennessee. And my uncle was in Jonesboro, Arkansas. He had he bred horses and raced horses, so he was in the horse business. He was well known, my Uncle Richie Campbell. And so I didn't even know that we had family in Philly until one I'm sorry, it's just been a messed up few days for me. So I didn't even know we had family in Philly. I've never been to Philly. I don't know anything about Philly other than Jill Scott is from Philly, and the coldest of poets come out of Philly. And they have nice jazz clubs or whatever. It was something that was on my list, but I've never been to Philly, never knew I had family in Philly, never knew anything. But she's in Philly, and she's an older lady. So I kept saying, I'm going to reach out to her and ask her, did she read any newspaper articles about this, or does she know anything about this, or this could be a coincidence that she do know my people, or hell, she could be my people. I don't know what's going on. I was just trying to see if maybe I could get a lead or something. So for a couple of months I kept saying I'm gonna reach out to her just to ask her. What happened was, when we went on vacation, my mom knew about the family in Philly, but she never been to Philly either, and she didn't know where they had went either, but they had moved to Philly. And when we went down there, my grandmother told my mother something about that one of my little cousins, it was a big deal in Philly because one of my little cousins, he rode bikes like I did. When I was younger, I loved bikes. I rode bikes, and I had all my little girlfriends in the neighborhood. We all had badass bikes, and we rode bikes through the park, up and down. You could ask anybody about me. We was cold at riding bikes. We was so cold. There's a park named Lincoln Park where I live in Decatur, and it has this big hill that goes all the way to the top. Most people would ride their bikes down the hill to get to the basketball court. But at the time, we wasn't into no boys or nothing. We was into our bikes and stuff. And I had a pretty brown Spree bike. It was like a pretty dark brown bronze Spree bike. And all my other girlfriends, they had bikes with the water bottles. We really was into ourselves and into this bike riding business. So one summer when we went down there, this touched me because my mother told me that my grandmother told her that our family that was in Philly, we had the same type of chemistry. He was a bike rider as well, but he was young. I don't know if he was between the ages of 10 and 15 or something, but he was young, and he really reminded me of me. And he had some type of lavish bike. And they killed my cousin for his bike. So my grandmother passed away. I couldn't get no more information. My mother passed away. I couldn't get no more information. But it bothered me, and I thought my mother had more time on this earth for me to find out who these people are that I'm kin to in Philly, and try to meet them maybe one day or something, or something. So I go to get on the woman page because I called her TT, and I would leave her comments all the time and this and that, so I called her TT. So what I did was I tried to go into her personal DMs and DM her. Well, it said something about that I couldn't send any messages to her, or it says something about that I couldn't send no messages unless she approved, or whatever. It wouldn't let me send a message to her to ask her if she ever read an article about it, if she knew anything about it, if she ran across my people, if she knew my people, hell, if she was my people. So after I couldn't leave a message, I contacted her the way that I knew how. I went on there and I wrote in her thing, I said, TT, I said, I got a personal question that I need to ask you. I said, is there any way that I can get in touch with you? You know what this woman did that I thought was half of a woman, but ain't even half of a woman? I had just got done crying from all the other stuff that had happened to me. I got back on TikTok and got on her page. There my comment was in the corner. TT, is there any way that I can get in touch with you? I was trying to ask you something personal if you knew about something. Is there any way I can contact you? Don't you know this woman stuck my comment up in the corner for everybody to see it? And she made a sarcastic joke about it. Well, how personal could it be? Everybody seeing it. What are you saying? And y'all know people that I follow other people. They gonna get smart and jazzy with the host. Well, I mean, get smart and jazzy like the host against the other people. All people was talking about how I misspelled something, how I missaid something, and how my spelling wasn't together, and this and that, and this and that. And I couldn't believe it. So I typed her back. I said, excuse me? I said, first of all, the people up in the comments, yeah, we want to know what it is. We dying to know, Cougar. It's so personal. We dying to know. It's already up here. So I made another comment. I said, excuse me? I said, I went to your DMs to try to ask you, was there any way that I could get in touch with you to just ask you if maybe you knew something about this situation, and hell, if you had something to do with this situation, is you tied in with it? I said, I was trying to ask you, by you living in Philly, had you ever heard a story about a little boy getting killed about his bike? Did you ever see a news article about it? Did you ever see read it on, see it on the news? Did you ever have you ever came across these people? Are you these people? I'm looking for my people. I said, but since you need the clout so bad, I'll just unfollow you. And so I made the comment and I unfollowed her. And I was getting ready to start supporting her business and this and that. But see, I had other things to take care of. I had to get my grass cut because my neighbors be talking shit. I had to take care of some other things. But I was about to support her business. Now let me say this. She got 1 trillion followers. So for me unsubscribing or me unfollowing, it don't make her much at all. But let me tell you something. Giants do fall. I've seen it all my life. And you can drive people away with your smart mouth. Here I am trying to really talk business to you, and you gonna go on there and try to embarrass me? Y'all watch out for these older women, because these older women are a mess. The older they get messy. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care what they do. Anybody that follows me already knows I am not the best reader. I am not the best speller. I've already made that known. I made that known why that happened right there. Whatever. But it's just the fact that you can't even reach out to people that's supposed to be your elders because they acting a damn fool. And if 60-year-old women acting like this, we in big trouble. I'm like my grandmama, we in bad shape.